Also, in terms of upside is depth. So as we go deeper, the recent hole that we've had, which we haven't had the assays back from yet, has a 10-meter wide zone of tin mineralization. So it does appear to be increasing at depth, which is exactly as we'd expected.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Rome Resources CEO Paul Barrett. Paul, good to speak with you. You're up with an update on drilling at your Kalayi tin prospects in DRC, and it looks very encouraging.
Yes, Stephen, thanks. It is, and what it's showing is a continuous tin mineralization. So it's along a kind of a 600-meter width zone, length zone, inside of which there's a number of on echelon sequences which include tin mineralization. I mean, if we take a quick look at the map, you'll see that there's an indication that this is a relatively simple, straightforward tin mineralization project with these on echelon features running through it. What the map's showing is, in fact, what we believe it to be is the mineralization developed in a shear zone, and this where we've been drilling is actually in a transfer between two parts of the shear zone. So the interesting thing here is that we have tin in that accommodation space of the transfer zone, and also potentially in the two legs to the northwest and the southeast, which we haven't drilled yet, which are continuations of the soil anomaly to the northwest and southeast. So that's where the upside lies in terms of the aerial extent. Also, in terms of upside is depth. So as we go deeper, the recent hole that we've had, which we haven't had the assays back from yet, has a 10-meter wide zone of tin mineralization. So it does appear to be increasing at depth, which is exactly as we'd expected.
And you do say in the release that it supports your geological model and also highlights the growing scale of this deposit.
Yes, I think the indication that the widths are increasing at depth, as I said in this latest hole, and the fact that we have this continuous, albeit several on echelon zones, tin mineralization is supporting the model. That's right. I mean, this is the simpler of the two prospects in terms of mineralization because it's pure tin. We're down into the tin zone already. Mont Agoma, on the other hand, is a more complex polymetallic feature.
So, I mean, well, tell us about the latest on Mont Agoma then, Paul, and what the next steps there are.
So we had a release out last week, and that's kind of indicating that two of the holes, I mean, we look at the map again on that one, 16 and 17 in the south, 16A and 17 in the south, both had a 30 to 40-meter wide tin intersection. It's suggesting that we're still in the copper tin transition zone. So if you think about as you go from shallow to deep, you go from copper through a transition zone of copper and tin, which is where we are with those holes, and then down deeper into a pure tin zone, basically where we are at Kalayi at surface. So it's kind of, there's the difference. So the other thing that we are seeing is a lot of copper, and to the north in hole 18, right on the northern fringe there, that is where we saw about 100-meter wide copper bearing zone, which is huge. And so we're seeing the copper developed to the north, we're seeing the tin developed to the south and at depth. So we're still drilling ahead. So we're still drilling deeper holes to test that hypothesis and come up with some resource numbers in the next couple of months or so.
You do say that the current drill programs are moving you towards that proposed maiden inferred mineral resource, which you expect in the first quarter, Paul.
Well, certainly for Kalayi, I mean, we're pretty much finished or almost finished. We've got two holes. One's currently drilling. We've got another one to drill. So there's going to be another few weeks of drilling, and then it's just a matter of how long it takes for the assays to come back. And they have been quite slow, to be honest, over the past few months, which is a bit of a shame. But as soon as they're back, we get the guys on to the resource numbers. So I think, yes, for Kalayi and Mont Agoma, because we've got four, probably maybe even five deeper holes to drill, that's going to take longer. So that pushes Mont Agoma resource numbers back probably another month. So end of Q1 for Kalayi, beginning of Q2 for Mont Agoma.
Paul, I hope you'll keep us posted on progress with both of those prospects. Thank you very much for the update today.
My pleasure. Thanks.
That's Rome Resources CEO Paul Barrett.